I spent more of my life as a non-Muslim than I have as a Muslim. And so more time was spent outside the fold of Islam. And I've been very fortunate, by the grace of God, for the last 15 years plus, to be Muslim. And so the reality is that, like anybody else, you're reconciling those two. Again, Ta'leef is about this process of reconciliation. So you're trying to reconcile these two disparate experiences, where one was I was just doing whatever I was doing, and now I've committed to the spiritual path. I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to grow, and trying to help other people learn and grow. And I think the more that people understand this prophetic teaching, that you are like a precious metal, and the best of you before Islam will be the best of you in Islam if you gain understanding, the more that people understand that you do have unique gifts, but your unique gifts and your edge is going to be challenged as you begin to understand truth and you begin to understand the spiritual path. That's going to be challenged, and then you're going to have to do some work. But you've got to bring your talents with you. You've got to bring your gifts with you. Far too often people are taught a version of Islam that stifles that. They're taught Islam in a way that makes them feel like, in order to be a good Muslim, I have to do away with all of myself. Islam didn't come to remove people's identity. It came to highlight it. It came to beautify it. It did come to, we got to do some work on that ego. We've got to get that negative part of yourself in control. And that's obviously a process. But the point is that if you come into Islam feeling like whatever experiences and talents and challenges that have made you the person that you are useless now because you believe in this religion, who really loses out? The individual, but then the community loses out, because there's all of that wealth of experience and wealth of talent that doesn't get utilized, and people are not able to use that to contribute to the cause of good and the cause of truth and the cause of justice. So when the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, says the best of them before Islam will be the best of them in Islam if they gain an understanding, this understanding is a prerequisite for their gifts to be useful, for their social capital, for their edge to be of benefit in Islam, that they have to have an understanding of the religion, which necessitates that they go beyond just knowing the ABCs of the law and know with wisdom how to apply that. Many of the people involved in starting Ta'leef have been students of knowledge for a long time, have been fortunate to sit with scholars from early on in their Islam, and having the likes of Imam Zayd as the chairman of our board. With all of that, there's still the importance of engaging scholarship and making sure that a situation comes up that because we don't want to do something that's displeasing to Allah. We don't want to do something that's going to cost us our own salvation. We don't want to do anything that's going to put us in a situation that's compromised. And also we don't want to do anything that's harmful to people. And I think that that's a very, very important point, that like, this isn't about being cool and being, hip, and it's about serving people. It's about making sure that people are well. It's about trying to get people closer to their Creator. It's about creating healthier relationships between people and God, and healthier relationships between people and one another. And so you need scholarly guidance in that. And the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, whoever establishes in Islam a good practice has the reward of doing it, and those who do it until the day of judgment. So he left open this idea that you introduce something new as a practice. While in his other tradition, in his other narration, he says to us, whoever adds to this affair of ours that which is not from it, ma laysa minhu, it's refused. We don't take it. It's not accepted. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, discourages innovation in the religion, but he doesn't discourage creativity. He doesn't discourage creative expression, especially if it's a practice that's going to be beneficial to the community, that's going to be beneficial in Islam. As organizations that are attempting to be effective in their context, you're going to have to come up with new ideas. You're going to have to do something that's never been done before. And so you're stuck between this idea of being creative and not wanting to innovate in the religion. You don't want to do anything and that is absolutely predicated. The success of that endeavor is absolutely predicated on having scholars that can guide you through that process. I think that many Muslims are stunted from wanting to do work by feeling like, well, I don't know. I haven't studied. I haven't been able to do the work. And the solution to that is two things. Number one, study and seek out proper training. In whatever field that you want to serve, make sure that you understand it and if you learn. And secondly, seek out scholarship and study and be trained by people. And that's why we started the Mu'allaf Mentorship Program, is so that people who are inspired by Ta'leef's work can come get an opportunity to learn some of the guiding principles, learn some of the stuff that makes up Ta'leef, and that they can then benefit from that and hopefully translate it for themselves for whatever context they're going to serve in. But I very much believe it's an idea whose time has come. And when an idea whose time has come arrives, it shouts out to the world, who's going to take me and translate me into a reality on the ground? So for us in the late 90s, early 2000 period, this idea that like we've got to take care of converts, we've got to help people when they come to Islam, we've got to make sure that they're taught and that they're cared for, we've got to re-engage Muslim youth, we've got to make sure that people who are interested in Islam have the ability to learn about it in a way that is proper and in a space that is safe, in a way that is accurately done. That idea came, and so a group of us responded to the call and said, you know what, let's translate that into an organizational reality. And so for anybody who wants to do that with that same idea or with a new idea, they've got to be dedicated. They've got to have people who are willing to serve, and they've also got to be willing to engage in this process of navigating the script and the improv, of navigating the rules and the guidelines, and then that process of them being inspired and being challenged at any given point with any given set of challenges. And that's very exciting if you think about it. It's very exciting.